The difference between the microbes and the enzymes, could you explain? I guess I'm understanding that the enzymes will temporarily digest the fats, oils, and grease, and then they just end up hitting the wall down in the sewer later on?
Yeah, enzymes are basically, there's a real big distinction, it's a constant confusion. Enzymes are really only very large chains of proteins. So they're not alive, they're not animals or whatever. So what you really do is you thicken it up a little bit. You package it a little bit, then you start breaking it up. Because of that, you start breaking it up of the natural occurring microbial actions that you may have in there. While the microbes itself are really live animals, and they can really take care of the grease, they absorb it. So the enzymes is sort of a preconditioning system. In it itself, it breaks it down. The problem that you have with enzymes is that it does recongeal because it's only a temporary breakdown. It's like you sort of break the glue apart, or very similar problem that we have with enzymes is with biodegradable soap, which is now a very big trend. Restaurants want to be green. So you take this biodegradable soap, which is a super start, but now the soap bioremediates, breaks the emulsion, and now bingo, you're left with the grease. Because if you look at like how surfactants work, is they basically, take that oil, try to bind it with water, and then it goes down the drain. And as soon as the surfactant part sort of bioremediates, well, here you got the grease again. So it's a sort of a similar thing that with the enzymes. It can be done with enzymes, but it's going to be very expensive, enzymes alone. Let's say we've done some studies on it, 4,000-gallon interceptor. You're looking at $320 worth of Savinaz and a couple of different enzymes that Novo Nordisk makes. So it's possible, but it's very expensive, and it's extremely difficult to control.
There's time for one more.
Markus, I was just going to help answer that first question. There is a startup time. We've started up these in San Diego County, and there is a short time, 1 or 2 days, when you get hydrogen sulfide issues, and what we do is just cap the inlet so it can't go back up into the plumbing system. But after it's in operation for about 1 or 2 days, you don't have a hydrogen sulfide production. So it changes the chemistry of the grease interceptor from anaerobic to aerobic.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lenger.
Maybe you can just give me a little bit of insight about the event and the importance of an event like this and bringing this group of people together and speaking to them.
Well, I think it's very important that we all look at new technologies. I can certainly say, as somebody that develops new technology, it's very difficult to bring them out. A lot of people just don't want to necessarily change, or the status quo is acceptable. So if you try to push new technology forward, any help is really appreciated. And it's all about credibility. And to actually set something up where you can gain at least the credibility or talk with people that know about these issues and that are experts in the field, I think is super important.
And do you think that these experts in the field can help the public get over whatever trepidation they have about these new products and new innovations?
I think so. That a lot of people are going on the green train and saying things are green. And there's actually a fairly new science called industrial ecology that sort of cuts through what is really green and what isn't. And I think that the consumer is being, sometimes sold a bunch of goods about whether it's really green or not. And I think it's really the responsibility of an industry that's well organized to go in and say, like, no, there's some guidelines. We need to clearly establish what is green and what isn't. Separate fact from marketing hype. Right. So I think, yeah.
Okay. And were you here for Mr. Freeman's presentation this morning?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. I know he kind of, put out a call to order, more or less, to for everybody to get involved and get the message out to the public. Maybe just some thoughts on the need to educate in general.
Oh, absolutely. I think people do need to educate themselves. Traditionally, people do know what's right, and we do know that squandering resources is not a good idea. We certainly have to address water. We're running out of water. I think we also personally address the amount of trash that we're producing in the United States is still very largely behind. So really packaging and so forth needs to get smarter. And I really do believe that the public needs to be educated, again, what's right and what's wrong, and they all need to get together. And I think there's an awareness that needs to come up if you really squander resources, that's no longer cool to drive a huge car that guzzles gas, but you really, the people starting to point and say, you know, that's wrong, and so that there's a certain shift in the public that they feel good about driving fuel-efficient cars and feeling good about having not showers 20 times a day, and just feeling good about being environmentally responsible. I think that's very important. I think that's actually the only way to do it. Because obviously it's not you know, we're not going to kill the planet. The planet just gets rid of us. Right. Yeah, so it's, anybody that went to an earthquake or a tornado knows what nature can do. So I think it's really for us to adapt. And just as in any evolutionary process, you fail to adapt, you're not going to make it.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.